I am ready to go.
You ready? 3, 2, go!
Right, usually when I do this talk, I give a whole, it's like 5-minute introduction as to why the Village People are pretty much the most accessible band of all time. I don't have that time today, because really there, I just waffle for 5 minutes because the main attraction of this talk is 3 minutes and 51 seconds. So this time I have 1 minute and 9 seconds to talk. So I'm going to tell you a story about the correlation between baseball fans, gay pride parades, and wedding DJs running low on inspiration. That is the YMCA. And that, in my opinion, if you look at how disparate those three groups are, that, in my opinion, makes the song the most accessible song of all time. It also has the most accessible dance of all time. And this is where you come in. You are required, by being in this session, you signed a contract as you walked in, you didn't know it, but you are required to do the dance. Starting round about now. When you're working on a design, there are aspects you should look to refine so your users know your work is benign, even if their specs are different. Users won't be all just like you. There'll be some things that they can and can't do. So consider if all needs are addressed, that will help you to pass the test. When picking fonts and themes, YMCA. When choosing color schemes, YMCA. If you're doing it right, no more yellow and white. Keep the contrast of dark and light when placing every chart. Why? Each individual part, YMCA. Check where tab text is next. Use alternative text, and all users will be impressed. Think of how your work will be used and make sure that no one will be confused or unable to do what is required just because they're recently hired. You may think it all just makes sense, but your jargon could be building a fence, stopping users getting value or aid. So good choices should be made. You need to sing the chorus part for every business phase. When using TLAs, YMCA. Think of audience skill, how to flatten the hill, and your data is sure to thrill when playing audio. Don't let it auto go. Add a transcript to read, let them vary the speed, allow everyone to succeed. Don't wait till you're almost complete before thinking of the goals you should meet. In ensuring your design is alright can be understood at first sight. You won't have to try very hard to improve each table, barcode or chart, and I promise that it won't be for naught. So to recap what I have taught, with picking fonts and themes, YMCA. When choosing color schemes, YMCA. If you're doing it right, no more yellow and white. Keep the contrast of dark and light when placing every chart, each individual part. Check where tab text is next. Use alternative text, and all users will be impressed for every business phase. Why? When using TLAs, think of audience skill, how to flatten the hill, and your data is sure to thrill when playing audio. Why? Don't let it auto go. Add a transcript to read, let them vary the speed, allow everyone to succeed. YMCA.
Folks, I've got to follow that. My name is Johnny Winter. I'm here to talk to you about what's the most effective way to title your visual dashboard. I hope you've got good eyesight. Okay, cool. So first off, I'm going to try and make this as big as I can. Oh, here we go. Can anybody tell me what is wrong with this visual? Shout it out, shout it out. What's wrong with that? It has no title. Next, let's fix that problem. There we go, it's now got a title. We are looking at title types by effectiveness. It says question 100%, description 50%, none 0%. Can anyone guess where this is going to go next? We're going to give it a new title. The new title. This is very, very smooth. Our new title. It says, what is the most effective way to title your visualization? Basically, the point is, my favorite track. Oh my God, I'm breathless. Whew.
Do you want me to show?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Go on, keep talking.
My favorite way to title a visual dashboard is to use a question. Why do I think this is effective? So, oh my God, I'm breathless. It's all that YMCA in. Two really good reasons why using a question for the title of your visual is effective. One, it kind of cons your users. It's a bit of kidology. It gamifies it slightly. Thanks, Mark. If you title it as a question, the first thing your user wants to do is answer the question. It draws them into the visual to give them the insight that they want to get from the visual. Second point, what am I doing for time?
You are sometime in. You've got 3 minutes and 11 seconds.
That's ages. Slow down. The second good reason, anyone come across the term analysis for analysis' sake or measure everything that moves? Anybody? Yeah, cool, okay, good stuff. I was once in a meeting with a colleague and we flashed up some visuals and there was a trend going down and everyone kind of looked at it and nodded. And then someone said, so is the trend going down good or bad? And everyone looked at each other and went, I don't know. If you use a title for a question for the title of your visual, it's a way to check that the visual you're providing actually provides some kind of value. So if you know you're looking to check whether the trends are going up or down, you ask the question, is this metric trending down? It takes care of itself. I really am breathless. There was another point. I've completely lost my train of thought. Apologies. Use questions for the titles of your visuals. Draws the user in, makes them look to answer the question, provides a check to make sure that the visual you're doing actually serves a given purpose. That's pretty much it. I've still got loads of time.
Yeah, no, you've got 2 minutes.
Anybody got any questions? Yes, you have, because that's how you're going to title all of your dashboards. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I've been doing consulting for about 10 years. If I could talk to you in an elevator, these are the few things that I would tell you if you wanted to get into consulting. The first thing is, what type of consultant do you really want to be? Do you want to be independent where you run your own business? That means you have to do all your billing, your sales, administrative work. Do you want to go with a placement agency who places you with a company for several weeks or several months at a time and then go to the next place? Or would you want to be a full-time employee at a consulting agency, which is what I do? You can also think about how you want to work. Do you want to be project-based, where you come in and build something and then leave? Do you want to be retainer-based, where people purchase recurring buckets of hours with you every month? Or do you want to be more like a full-time employee for your clients? Once you get through that, you might want to think about the types of engagements you like best. You probably don't get to choose all the time. That's okay. But some really common types of engagements could be an office hours or advising thing where you don't get to touch the tech. You just tell people your opinions on architecture. It could be just buckets of hours. People go, I have some Power BI stuff I need to learn and get through. I'm going to purchase 40 hours. There could be retainers. My company has a lot of database administrators. People purchase 20 hours a month or 40 hours a month to keep their stuff running well. I do a lot of project-based things. This is great. I like time and materials project-based stuff, but it is hard to mix projects. So do you want to focus in one area and try to do lots of project-based things and only have 1 or 2 clients? Or do you want to do lots of advising as needed buckets of hours and be spread across 6 things? I'm not really good at multitasking across all different types of projects across the data platform, so sometimes I prefer to focus. Things to think about. You could also just do staff aug and be embedded in a client company. Once you are a consultant, the best thing I can tell you is to be very aware of expectation management. Yes, we all work in tech, but we need to communicate with the people we're building tech for. So we want to make sure we get a shared understanding of what we're going to do on projects up front. It's going to change throughout the project. We plan, we budget, we make deadlines, but they're all going to change. It's just to make people feel really good about it as we get going. So we need to do that to make people feel good and like we have a plan, but then we also need to work out details like, is there some other person, some team, some third party that's part of this project? Am I going to be waiting on them to do my part? Is somebody going to be mad at me because they think I'm not doing my part because I'm waiting on them? Let's just clear that all up and get it all scheduled now. Am I going to do support, on-call stuff? After business hours. When we write contracts for our company, we have business hours, and if you would like us to work after that, you will pay us extra for that. That's fine, just everybody needs to know up front, including the people you actually work with and not just the people that sign the contract. Are people gonna buy transition or aftercare hours? It's really disappointing when I come and build this magnificent thing and then I find out 3 months later it died because they didn't purchase enough hours to keep it going and really transition it back to their own team. I want to build you stuff that lasts, so I try to talk my clients into making sure we've allocated some hours at the end to make sure everybody feels good about keeping it going when I'm not there. And I will tell you this about just about everything. If it's important, put it in writing. 1, to CYA, but 2, so that people who've forgotten exactly what we said have a nice reminder where they can find it, and people who speak other languages or weren't there for that part of the project can easily access the information. Project constraints are another big one. Have you ever inherited a project and you go, what were these people thinking? There's no way, no one would design it like that. Were they really just bad at their job? Maybe, but it probably is that there was a weird project constraint that you're just not aware of. They could be bad at their job, or they could be working around something that wasn't documented. So document your project constraints, talk about them and what the consequences of them are when people bring them up. And last, documentation. Do not leave, whether you are retainer-based or project-based, without leaving documentation so that people can keep going with what you've given them. We don't have to document every little thing. That's what we can look at code for. But document the whys, or the things you changed from what is normal or default. Document the how do I start it, stop it, and fix it most common questions. And don't forget, it doesn't just have to be a document. It can be a screen recording, a meeting, code comments, all of that. And that is my 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Right, okay, I'm Laura GB. That's that slide done. Cool. Okay, we're gonna build a delivering information to your users. Okay, I am very much, most of my career has been about doing user adoption and convincing users to actually go. You create that beautiful report. Okay, these are not beautiful reports. I'll tell you now. Okay, one's got maps on it and one's got pretty pictures. That's it. But you create that beautiful report and nobody comes and views it because nobody can find it in the workspace, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And Microsoft updated apps recently, so actually they now vaguely work slightly better than they did before, rather than you having to go to your scary Power BI admin people and go, I need 4 workspaces. And they go, no, you don't. You get 1. But I need 4 apps. So now you can do your 4 apps. So that's what we're going to do. Laura, put on the glasses. Don't get old, okay, guys? Don't, because you need glasses. Right, okay. So we've got our big bad dungeon workspace, and I've got 2 reports in there. So we're going to go and create an app, okay? We're going to call it the big bad dungeon. The big bad. Oh, that's really small, isn't it? Should we do this magic thing? Look, it's really cool. Big fonts, ooh. So there we go, big bad dungeon. Weirdly, you have to put a description in, so some stuff, I'll do. We're gonna add a logo, because hey, SQL bits gives us logos. So we're going to go, that's not the right, that's that SQL branding, that's what I want, that's what I want. Look, pick a picture. Which picture? Dragon? Dragon, right, we'll go with the dragon. Gandalf, yeah, we'll pick him in a minute. No, there's the dragon. He looks a bit squashed, doesn't he, poor man? But poor thing. But never mind, he'll cope. Okay, so we're going to pick a theme color. I'm going to pick a dark blue color. No choices. Sorry, guys. It's the only one that looks good. And we can put in contact information. Hey, you never know. Someone might actually, if there's a problem, know who to contact. You never know. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? And there's all sorts of things down here about navigation things. I haven't got time. I've only got 5 minutes. So next part we're going to go for is adding our content. So on our add content, click the button. That's the bit that confuses me all the time. And we're going to tick both of them, okay? We'll have them both in there, and then we're going to click add. Okay? So that's next. Right. How many D&D players do I have in the room? Wow. Okay. Right? If you're playing D&D, right, the GM is the person running the game, and usually you feel is out to kill you, doesn't want to see everybody else to see the maps, because they're secret. Yeah? So this maps report, you don't want everybody to see. This dragon, that's the dragon's lair. This people report, which you can't see because we've zoomed in too much. Look, it's got a person on it. We're going to zoom out again because I zoomed in too far. I got excited. There we go. We've got the various people that are the party. Everybody can see the party. That's really weird. That's a bug, isn't it?
There are no bugs.
Okay, that's a feature. That's a feature. Anybody from Microsoft in the room? Anybody apart from Mark in the room? Mark doesn't count. Right, okay. So what we're going to do is we've got the audience. So that audience there, I'm going to rename that audience to be the GM. Okay? And I am going to make it that Nestor, I'm hoping I've got this right. I've got 1 minute left. Of course, this is going to be tough, isn't it? Nestor's going to be in that one. Okay? We're going to add another new audience. And that one isn't allowed to see the maps. That audience is called the players. We renamed it Honest. And we're going to put Alex in there. That's the bit we have to do. We're going to put Alex in there and some other people, because hey, he's not playing by himself. And we're going to publish the app. We're going to publish the app. And we're going to copy it. And then we're going to switch over to being Nestor. And let's have a look at Nestor's version of the app. He hasn't stood up yet, so I've still got 10 seconds. This could take a little while. Bugger off. Sorry. Don't swear. Yeah, it's still there. So there we go. We've got that one. And so he's got the maps and he's got the people. If we go over here, we're going to paste, and we're going to go like this, and we're going to go, and we're going to get it to run, and we're going to get it to run, and we're going to freeze time, and it's going to work, it's going to work, it's going to work, it's going to work. Go on, clap, and then it'll work. See? Can't see the maps.
Hi, is my mic on? Everybody can hear me? Yep. My name is John Morehouse. We're going to have a short story of how to restore the master database of a SQL Server instance. In today's world, I think that's a lost skill that most of us don't know how to do. I work for a really cool company. I'm a consultant. I'm a principal consultant, so I do a lot of weird things with SQL Server. This is me. Feel free to contact me if you wish. So pop quiz hotshot. For those that are 90s movies reference, this is from Speed. Client calls. Ring, ring. The virtual machine is toast. It was deallocated from AWS on accident. It's a production box. They created the new virtual machine to restore, but they have to restore master. They don't know how. You don't have access to the virtual machine. True story, I had to tell somebody and watch him type in the commands on a new virtual machine across the Atlantic Ocean while he was here on this side of the pond, and I'm sitting in Kentucky. So how do we do it? Go. Who knows how to do it? Anybody? First, we have to stop the SQL servers.
Then we have to start the SQL servers in single user mode. We can either use -F or -M. -F will imply single user mode as well as minimal configuration, which means that very few services will actually start up when you start SQL Server in the -F mode. If you use -M, it'll start in single user mode because I need a single point of connection with an administrator. If you start SQL Server in a single user mode, somebody can actually sneak in and grab that single connection that is available, and then we have to restore master just like we would restore any other user database. And then once that's done, that process will actually shut SQL Server down, and then we actually have to start that service back up. There is a caveat, and we'll get to this. This is a demo. So on the left, SQL Server is going to run in the left-hand screen, and on the right, I will actually do the restore. So first, I'm going to say net stop MS SQL Server. We can see that SQL Server is actually stopping. And then I'm going to start the service in single user mode using -F. I have the executable in my path, so that starts very easily. We can see that it spins up. It is hunky-dory. It came online. On the right-hand side, I'm going to use SQL command to actually connect to that instance, and then I use SQL command to verify that I'm actually on the right box. Like, we don't want to restore the database of the wrong server. I'm on the right server, LA Win1, you can see there. I issue my restored database master from a backup. I actually have a typo. The trick with restoring master, just a second, I'm going to fix that typo.
Good job.
Yay! We can see that the master has been successfully restored. SQL Server stopped. And so on the left-hand side, I have to start SQL Server back up. It's going to come back online. It's going to say it is starting, and there I have successfully restored master of a SQL Server instance. Now, you might not deal with SQL Server in this realm, but this is a skill that actually happens in production. I actually did this 7 months ago. It's 2022. We still have to worry about this as being DBAs. One of the tricks with restoring master, you have to restore the backup to the exact same build level that it was taken from. So if you spin up a new virtual machine to restore master, it has to be the exact same CU, or a service pack level, CU, build level, to the T. If it is off, this will fail, and it's going to make the problem even worse. With that, once that was done, my client was like, John, you're the hero. I celebrated the good times, and with that, I finished early. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So I'm going to show you how you can write down variable in a blob storage. So there are two ways you can do it. You can use a web activity or you can use a copy activity, and there are many different ways as well, but I'm going to show you only first one, which is using the web activity, because one of my few friends, they request to show this. So here, how you can do that? So for that, you can use a web activity and you can use blob storage URL. And main important thing is you need to give them permission. So your Azure Data Factory should have a permission for storage account. So for that, you need to choose a storage blob data contributor access. So let's go to see here quickly. And this is slightly different. Yeah. So you can see that this is my Azure Data Factory, and I have a pipelines, and inside my pipeline I have an append variable, and I'm writing that result of the append variable into blob storage. So I have used here web activity, and you can see here settings, and you can see that here I am using the URL of my blob storage. So this is the actual final file name will be there. So like it's URL, and then its current timestamp and .csv file. So this is a new file will be generated in my blob storage. You can use here global parameters to make it dynamic for different environments, but I have just used strings. And you can select method, which is put method, and here you can see that this is a variables. It has some information, and I'm writing that information into blob storage. So that is that, and here you can see that you need to choose authentication, which is assign manage identity, and resource is blob storage, and you need to add headers as well, which is version and depends on the file types. But here is CSV will works, and that's it. And then one main important thing is that your data factory should have access of your blob storage. So for that, you need to go to your particular storage, which is this one. So this is my storage, and you can see that this is a contributor access, because I have given Azure Data Factory to access that blob storage. But for your environment, you need to give that explicitly. So for that, you need to go to your blob storage, and then let me go to here again. So blob storage, and then you need to go to access control, and then you need to add role. And then here, you need to select that store blob data contributor access. So here you can filter that out because there are a lot of roles. So this is the one which we are interested. So this way we are giving the Azure Data Factory permission to access a blob storage. We select next, and then here we need to use manage identity. And now we selecting our manage identity, which one. So here we're using Azure Data Factory, but you can use Logic Apps or other Azure services as well. So you selecting Data Factory, so you can see that you will see list of Data Factory in your subscription, and you can select which you are interested, and that's it. So this way, you're giving the permission to Data Factory to access a blob storage via CI/CD pipeline. Same way it works when you want to call ADF inside web activity using REST URL. Then also you can give Data Factory itself has a permission in here, but it's different permission. So that's it. So this way you will give access, and then you can see that I have recently run my pipeline. So you will see that here new files, and it has a data which is I have in my variables. So actually it's too slow. Yeah, so this is the file. So this is the file, and
No, finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't come up with the title slide, so there we go. Right.
Do you want me to start the timer?
Yeah, start.
Go.
So, cool. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for selecting the talk to be. Thank you, audience, for coming out and choosing to listen to all of us. I'm an independent IT contractor. I've been adventuring in data now for about 15 years. And all the companies that I've been working with, some very large companies, some governments even, they've all got the same sort of problems with their ERP systems. They've got lots of ERP systems spread across everything, and the ERP systems, they can't talk to each other. So I want to talk to you about how we solved it in healthcare and how you can take it forward to your businesses to make your businesses able to talk to each other. So we've all been told that good data has an ID. We all know this. We've all been putting IDs on our tables for ages. And when we pass IDs to other people, we tell them our IDs and we tell them how to join them, and they're happy, right? Well, not so much. If everybody's happy with that, why do companies constantly get it wrong? Why doesn't data interact properly between companies? Well, there's two things behind that. When you've got two tightly coupled systems, you can quite happily pass an ID backwards and forwards from those systems. External system ID, I'm sure most of you have seen that. But when you start adding in more systems, that external ID suddenly becomes 15, 20 extra columns that you have to keep putting into your new CRM. And that very quickly becomes a problem. So, healthcare, a while back, solved it with this, a common ID. Everybody is forced to use this common ID. in the NHS, we call that an NHS number. And it looks like that. Which kind of brings us on to the next problem. That's an NHS number. Who here has interacted with the UK health system? How many of you know you've got an NHS number? Who can remember their NHS number? And that's the problem. Humans aren't great with numbers. Numbers are ugly. We don't have this. We don't even have this. We say, that's my Springer Spaniel. Humans have an aversion to numbers and remembering blocks of alphas like that. And it's that aversion that forces people who aren't DBAs or tech people to try and get rid of your numbers. You don't want to see numbers in the report. Don't show me the IDs. And that forces tech to hide them all, push them into the background, and that gives you the same problem that you saw before. So, with the advent of citizen developers, people coming up, they want to see IDs. Give them something that they can relate to. So, big buzzword at the moment, data mesh. Fortunately, data mesh, the ideas behind data mesh, aren't new, aren't particularly revolutionary. They say, talk to each other, and we've had systems in real life that do that for quite some time. We've had number plates. Lots of cars drive around the UK. None of those systems are connected. All of them can pass information about that one entity moving around on its own. So my big takeaway is make sure you've got a common ID for your business. Make sure that that common ID is human readable, human relatable. Because if you do, the business will beg you to put that ID in your report. And they'll use it to make the systems talk to each other. Thank you. I've been Will List. I'm a contract data architect. Hit me up on LinkedIn, and don't forget to submit your session feedback for prizes, which are going to be given away relatively soon.
Yeah. All right.
I've used this. This is the world's worst laptop. Everything about it is wrong. Look, even that, it's just rubbish. Right. If that doesn't do that. Right. So, no. Do we
Well,
have?
we probably need that on one.
That would help.
Yeah. All right.
No, beautiful. So in the freebie packs for SQL Bits 2020, we got some juggling balls. So who else loves waiting for the Azure Synapse? I need to get a volunteer. No, I need to get a volunteer. Oh, right, Sodja. Right, okay. So who loves waiting for the Azure portal to do its thing? Yeah, everybody. Everybody loves waiting for Azure portal to do its thing. So what I was thinking was, if you're going to do something, if you're going to have to wait for Azure portal to do something, what else can you do? So what I'm going to do here is apply a requirements file to a Spark pool. That shouldn't take too long. How can I effectively use my time? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit apply, and we're going to watch that. And I've also got somebody lined up to see if I can teach them to juggle with some ducks. Rob, come on, Joe. Does anybody else want to go? What? No. You're not at the start here. It's me. Right. Does anybody else want to go? Who wants to learn how to juggle? Helen? No? Anybody? Yeah? Somebody? Yeah? Just one more person, please. There's your ducks. I'm now going to teach you how to juggle before the spark pool spins up, so we've not got long. We've not got long. Okay. Sorry. 4 minutes. 4 minutes? Come on, okay, cool. Where's me notifications gone? You need to see the notifications, because that's how you tell me that I lost. Okay, we're applying package settings. That's brilliant. Okay, so, excuse me. This is how you learn how to juggle. Right, you put 2 ducks on the floor, and you have 1 duck. You pick up 1 duck, and you throw it to that hand, and you catch it. And you do that. You do that. Cool. Everybody get this? This will teach you how to juggle outside the SQL bits, by the way. So you do that, we do that. Okay, so you pick up the second duck. Boink. You pick up the second duck. We're going to throw that one to that hand when we're going to drop this before we catch it. So watch, throw, drop, catch. Throw, drop, catch. You're going to pick it up. I'm going to lose some time doing this. So throw, drop, catch. We're all good? Okay. Are we happy with that? Throw, drop, catch. Shut up. Right. 3, 3, throw, drop, catch. Okay. We're good with that. Okay. This is the next bit. So you're about a third of the way there now. How long?
How's Azure doing?
Okay, cool. Okay, so we're going to throw that one to that hand, and then we're going to throw that one to that hand before this one lands there. Watch. Like that. So throw, throw, catch, catch. Oh, it's so close. Throw, throw, catch, catch. 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 Oh, nearly. Throw, throw, catch, catch. You're better with this than he is. Well, duck. Yeah. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Yeah. Throw, throw, catch, catch. Okay, nice. Helps if you work in circles with your hands, but we'll get there. Okay, so third duck. Are we ready?
Come on, Spark Paul, come on.
Third duck. So,
I don't want to do this.
2 ducks in one hand. You throw the one of the 2 ducks to that hand. You throw that duck to this hand, and you drop that duck. You ready? This is great. I love this. Okay, ready? 1, 2. Like that.
1, 2.
That's it.
I can drop things all day.
Yeah, you forgot to drop. Okay.
Dropping
1,
things
2.
is bad joke.
I forgot to drop.
Drop databases.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Drop. There you go.
Drop the
So your pattern here is throw, throw, catch, drop, catch. Okay. Throw, throw, catch, drop, catch. We're going to add a drop. Oh, we're getting there.
3.
We're getting there. Sorry, the light's in my eyes. I'm just going to go over here, Rob. Can you? Can't see what I'm doing. Can't see what I'm doing.
Come on. That's it.
Right. Throw, throw, catch, drop.
So
Oh, no.
The entire presentation.
You go back.
Come back. Okay, we're still playing settings. Okay, so throw, throw, catch, drop, catch. Catch, drop, catch. Oh, you're nearly there. You are nearly there. Come on, we are so close because the last bit is where you don't drop any of the ducks. Yeah? And when you don't drop the ducks, you win. So we are so nearly there. We are so nearly there. Come on. Catch, drop. Okay, so that's when you don't drop the ducks. Occasionally the ducks will crash. So come on, try it with 3. Where's my duck? I got it. Come on. Go on, you can do this.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it.
Come on, we can still do it. We can do it. We can do it.
I'm away.
We can still do it.